Alrighty, let's hope that my lighting is okay. Hi guys, so as you can tell from the title of this video, today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about supplemental essays. And the reason for this is because I've received a lot of DMs from people coming from my stats video asking about specific essays for schools, and while I've decided that I'm not going to be sharing my Common App essay, I figured that if it is helpful to people that I would share at least the topics or the actual answers that I gave for my schools. So I'm going to be talking about Swarthmore, Yale, USC Viterbi, and BU Engineering, all in different videos. I also need to disclaim that obviously while these are the essays that worked for me, I don't necessarily know whether the essays are what made my application stand out to the admission officers, and I don't know what percentage of my admission decision was based on the essays, as well as the fact that, you know, all of our stories may not be the same, but there is merit in every single person's. And even if someone gets in with an essay that has a completely different story or format to you, that doesn't mean that yours will be rejected. But it's good to keep in mind what other people have done successfully so that you can learn from other people's experiences. To clarify, the Common App that I wrote for Boston University was about my experience training in freestyle dance for the first time when I visited my uncle in Germany. And the major that I applied for at Boston University Engineering was Biomedical Engineering. Question 1. What about being a student at Boston University most excites you? Basically, the why us question. I am most excited at the chance to learn from and potentially collaborate with Boston University's one-of-a-kind professors, such as Dr. Christopher Chen. I'm inspired by his interdisciplinary approach, using the science of physics, biology, and engineering to apply microfabrication and nanotechnology to his work in regenerative medicine. Having access to BU's research laboratories, such as Dr. Chen's Tissue Microfabrication Lab, will empower me with the experience I need to solve the scientific problems of the future. I am also excited to take advantage of BU's engineering school facilities, specifically the Imagineering Lab and the Engineering Product Innovation Center. I will take advantage of these resources to innovate my ideas using my own shop experience and understanding of the design cycle to create prototypes that answer today's challenges. Lastly, Boston University is a global campus in a city that is rife with scholars and innovators. This think tank environment will inspire me by challenging my perspective and providing me with a community that supports the pursuit of my intellectual passions. I am excited to study at Boston University and become equipped with the knowledge to solve society's greatest health problems, as well as the moral compass to maintain strong ethics that serve to make a significant positive impact on the world. So I did have some good specific examples in terms of a specific professor that I was familiar with and was really interested in working with, as well as certain facilities that I was looking forward to using at BU. But I would say, you know, there are lots of other schools that also have similar engineering facilities. So in that area, I would probably look a little bit more towards something curriculum-based, something that is really only offered at BU, or maybe something more like an opportunity that is only offered at BU. I also spoke really vaguely about what I would like to use the skills that I learned at BU for. So if I were to redo this, I would probably highlight a specific project that I am working on or that I hope to work on in the future. Even mentioning the type of project or even a specific field that you would like to aim that project in would probably be a more impactful essay than the one that I wrote. Now, I didn't receive the full Trustee scholarship, but I received the Presidential Scholarship, and so this is the essay that helped me to receive the Presidential Scholarship for BU. During sophomore year, I ate dinner in my school's robotics lab every weeknight. It was my first year competing in the first robotics competition, and I was a rookie on the team's fabrication squad, determined to prove my worth. Spending long hours working on the robot, I intimately observed the process of building a machine. As an extra hand after hours, I gleaned skills across the robotics division, from assembling parts to electronics and tinkering in computer-aided design. Robotics sparks my joy by giving me the power to breathe life into an idea. When we trade our paper sketches for wooden prototypes and eventually a full-fledged robot, I see myself creating tangible solutions to challenges. Having a time limit to complete a massive project such as designing, building, and programming a robot is a stimulating mental task that pushes me to the limit of what I can achieve. Robotics is also what introduced me to the two teachers who became instrumental figures in my pursuit of STEM. I had my first taste of a competitive robotics in my 9th grade engineering projects class, collaborating with other students to work on a robot for FRC's 7th to 12th grade counterpart, the First Tech Challenge. As the only 9th grader on a team of seniors, we overcame the disparities in our experience and maturity to ideate, design, and build a robot that could perform game tasks such as push around yoga balls, shoot wiffle balls, and defend itself. That year at the regional competition, my team persevered through eliminations and ultimately won the championship. A small group of us decided to try it all again the next year, outside the structure of the engineering class. With my new team, I spent countless nights before match days staying up to put final touches on the robot and even traveled, created robot and all, to the neighboring island of Kauai for a competition. 3 of those teammates have since become my closest friends. Since then, I've continued to challenge myself with robotics, moving on from FTC and now acting as the electrical and pneumatics co-lead for the FRC team. In FRC, students take on the responsibility of the team and run the operation. We make decisions as a committee, order all of the parts we need, and forge alliances with competing schools. Even when malfunctions or unexpected roadblocks frustrate us, we can still laugh at our plights and support each other through the obstacles. Robotics has connected me with friends who I might not have had the opportunity to meet otherwise. These peers inspire me to collaborate on the problems that interest me. My curiosity is also encouraged by my robotics mentors, who have provided vital support as I experience both failure and success. In my current position, I'm able to pass on this gift of mentorship to other students. I'm especially proud that I am currently training the next team of electrical specialists for FRC, a group of 10th grade girls passionate about a future in STEM. Competing in robotics has shaped values that act as my moral compass as I venture into an uncharted future in the world of STEM. I have learned that robotics and engineering are about improving models and devising efficient solutions to problems, not just winning competitions. We learn to use our skills to help others, especially where access to such skills is limited. A passion for engineering has no doubt nourished my mind, character, and given me confidence to claim a place in the world of STEM, a place that I learned I already have. So if I were to redo it, I probably would talk about how I plan to use these skills and experiences at BU or post-BU. Reading it back now, I'm also a little bit on the fence about how much I explained the robotics competitions, just because I know that the people who are reading the essay might not necessarily be familiar with competitions, so it would be valuable to someone who had no idea, but at least for me, knowing about it, it started to feel a little bit mundane. So I would definitely approach it possibly by having a peer who's not involved in the same activity read it over for you if you are writing something that happens to touch on an activity or explain an experience that's relatively common, because ideally you'd want your essay to be interesting and understandable for someone who's not involved in the activity, but also not so overly informative that someone who is pretty familiar with the activity would become very bored. Since BU is pretty short, that's all I have for this video on BU. Like I said, I'm going to be doing other schools as well, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching!